This video is set up to explain the percentage increase and decrease section of the student workbook on interest and depreciation. The first question that we are given here at the top asks us to increase an amount by a percentage, adding the percentage onto 100% and then multiplying. So in the first example, we are asked to increase $1,250 by 5%. So we take the percentage we're given, which is 5%. We need to add that on to 100%. And of course, that is nice and simple. That is 105%. We're then told to multiply. When we multiply, we need to turn the percentage into a decimal. We turn the percentage into a decimal by dividing by 100. So we take 1,250 and we need to multiply it by 105 divided by 100, which is 1.05. The answer that the calculator will give you is 1,312.5. But then we need to remember that this is dollars. So when we turn it into dollars, we should have two decimal places. So we add a zero, make it $1,312.50. So in the second example, we are asked to decrease an amount by a percentage by subtracting the percentage from 100% and then multiplying. So here we are asked to decrease $275 by 12%. So from 100%, we subtract the percentage, which gives us 88%. When we do that, we then multiply the amount we're given, $275, multiplied by 88% as a decimal. Divide that by 100, and you get that 88% is 0.75. So when we multiply that together, you should find that you get 242. Check the units. It was dollars, so it is $242. Okay, so scrolling down, the second section asks us to calculate a repeated percentage change. In the first example that we're given, we are given the option of using a number. So the question says that Maya is having a 20% off everything sale with a 5% extra, so further 5% off for Maya 1 customers. What percentage discount is equivalent for Maya 1 customers? So what we're going to do when it says using numbers is assign an arbitrary price. And that arbitrary price we're going to use and work out what would happen to something that costs that much, because it would be the same overall percentage change no matter how much it costs. So let's say there's something in the shop that starts with a cost of $100. The link is to percentages. We start from 100%. Okay, so first we take 20% off, because it's 20% off everything sale. So the percentage discount is the 100% minus 20%, which equals 80%. So we're going to find 80% of $100. So $100 multiplied by 80% as a decimal, 0.8, gives us $80. So that's the first part. It then says at the top that there's a further 5% off. The further 5% basically means that it's 5% off this new cost of $80. It's not 5% off the original cost. So that's the idea of repeated percentage change. That's what they're looking to factor out. So this $80 figure becomes our new starting point. It becomes our new 100%. So when we take 5% away, we're going to take 5% off 100%. That'll give us 95%. So we're going to find 95% of the $80 figure that we've just ended up with. So we do 80, multiply it by 0.95. If you do that, you will find that it is $76. So the final price that someone for a Maya 1 customer would pay is $76. What's the percentage discount that's equivalent to this? Well, the total discount is the $100 that we started with, take away the $76, so the discount is $24. We want that as a percentage though, so the percentage discount is the $24 out of $100 starting price, multiplied by 100 to turn it into a percent. The reason for picking 100 kind of becomes clear now, because the divide by 100 times by 100 cancel out. And we find out that it is a 24% discount overall. The second example asks us to use a multiplier. So the question says that the price of petrol increased by 8% on Tuesday and then decreased by 3% on Wednesday. What was the overall percentage change by Thursday? So our starting point for all percentage questions is that we start with 100%. On Tuesday, it goes up by 8%. So the overall change is that it's gone to 108%. That's Tuesday. On Wednesday, the figure that we start with, whatever we start with for that day, becomes our new 100% figure. So we get a new starting point. And what happens is there's a decrease of 3%. So we're going to end up at 90% of the figure that we started with on Wednesday. So the overall change, sorry, bad O, clear that up. The overall change is that we start on 100%. On Tuesday, it goes up by 8%, so we get 108% of that starting figure. 108 as a decimal is 1.08, so we take the 100 and we multiply it by 1.08. The next day, on Wednesday, we end up with 97% of whatever we've got so far. So up to here, we now take 97% of this. So to find 97% of that, we multiply this by 0.97. So what we've done is we have multiplied by the decimal equivalence of the percentage change repeatedly. So this is why we called this using multipliers, because we're doing a repeated multiplication. So you need to put 100 times by 1.08 times by 0.97 into your calculator. You should find that you get 104.76%. So we started at 100%. I'll just highlight that here. So we started at 100%. When we finished, it was 104.76%. What's the change? What's happened there? So the overall effect is that it's increased, it's gone up by 4.76%. And that is how you use multipliers to calculate repeated percentage change.